PvP on reserve can be a very daunting task for most. I know from experience that there are a lot of hotspots on reserve, and there's definitely a lot of areas where you can get a very big line of sight on the map as well. So in today's video, I kind of want to talk about those line of sights that you can get and definitely go through how to kind of counter these areas, as well as more of the close quarters PvP spots that you can definitely get entangled with when you are running through the reserve map, and how to counter those as well. So without further ado, I'm Butter Something, and let's get right into the video. Alright, so we've spawned behind the black pawn building. So with this spawn, when you do spawn here, there are a few places you need to worry about. You need to worry about people coming down from that little path that have spawned up in the rock area over there. And then you need to worry about people that have spawned over here. So although this video is not about spawns, I just want to let you guys know in this, situation, that's what you need to worry about. So some of the big PvP areas are going to be this black pawn building, as well as dome, and over by K buildings, as well as the knight, white bishop, and the queen / king / tech, whatever you want to call it. So the biggest fight you are going to have in the black pawn building is going to actually be the fight for the marked room itself. So it really depends on when you get here on how you're probably going to have to handle this. So say you spawned over in the corner where we were over there, and now you're getting into the game. Essentially someone has probably already hit this room. So for me personally, and the way that I kind of play, is I play a little bit long game. So what I'll do is I'll actually sit kind of back here and hopefully wait for someone to come out. If you're more of a rusher, which you can do that as well, what you'll probably do is come down and you'll just pre-fire the shiitake mushrooms out of this door. If it is open, you can always throw a grenade and then shoot while you're going and strafing across it. This will either make the player come out into a hail of bullets, or they will die to your grenade. Or if they're sitting in a corner over here and you've thrown that grenade and you made it down here and he's not coming out, you can just shut the door. Easy. You'll get him 9 times out of 10, nothing crazy. You will have a lot more PvP down here though. So if there is a team of some sort, you will definitely have PvP down here. And as soon as that happens, sometimes sitting in here can throw some people off, but I would get out of this area as quick as possible and try and either get to the white pawn building or out the back, because what will probably happen is as soon as you kill that one, people are going to try and swarm you, or they're worried about the potential of you being better than them, and they get worried and they kind of hold off on their positioning. So try not to make too much noise on their end. So if that happens, I would just get out and maybe try and hold stairs, because this will kind of give you an angle right here. Really hold them, and then if they come around, you can just go like this, and all they really have is your leg. That's about it. Sorry I had to cut it there. I don't know if you can hear this, but I am definitely a little nasally. So what we're gonna do now, we're still in black pawn, so we're actually gonna go all the way to the floor right before the top one. And right through here, say you're fighting somebody, because there are a lot of people that will hit that white pawn building first. And the biggest issue that you're going to have is trying to kind of zero in where they are. These 2 rooms, that one and that one, are the only 2 that I know that require a key in that building itself. So I would definitely make sure you're watching these windows. The biggest thing is when you come around these, you already want to be aimed. That just gives you an advantage of being able to easily, if you do see something, you can just tap and, obviously try and miss this. So you can just tap easy. You'll definitely, hit something and at least scare them. But I will try and insert a clip of me getting somebody the way that I just explained, because of the way that my team played. So up here is a really, really nice vantage point. The biggest thing about this is you definitely get some good, scenery, as well as on top of the white pond building. From here, though, the biggest thing you're going to have to worry about is people from Dome shooting you and people from the top of the white pond building shooting you. So be aware of that, but it definitely gives you a very good oversight of a lot of these areas. And then if you go up here, you can actually just, wow, you can miss, because I think they have jump delay now or something. You can go up here and have the Scavlands tower, the Hermetic tower, and if you're lucky, I think it's like with thermals. Oh, maybe it's since they patched it. You probably can't see over there. But this will give you kind of overall view of the map and kind of where everybody kind of is. And then you have the White Knight building here as well as the Black Knight building. So for the most part, this is Black Pond. This is the PvP that you're really going to deal with, is going to be on the lower levels. As for White Pond, you're not really going to get a lot of PvP in that building. I don't see a lot of PvP. The only PvP you will see is going to be on this side over here, because they're coming from that Hermetic push button. But if you hear that, this point right here is probably going to give you a better advantage of it. Just seeing as how you're going to have to, you know, make sure you're steady aimed. But if you have a team, you can probably control both of these buildings relatively easily. And even if one of you die, you can make sure that your team dies, you know, relatively out in the open, so that you can get the kill on the guys. So that's Black Pond. We're gonna go ahead and move over to Black Bishop right here, or school building. We're now in the front right. If you were to walk in the front of the Black Bishop building, we are in the front right. So for the most part, you're not really gonna see a lot of PvP. The only reason you're gonna see a lot of PvP on the first floor in this would be the door right down there, which is RBAO. And that door has filters and so on, so you will have people come in out of that door. You will also have a lot of people, and I don't think it'll be as much PvP as it will you killing a hatchling, but coming down this way and potentially going into this room here to get, you know, the motor, and they can also get radio transmitters, as well as people coming in off the back of this right here, which is the patio to Black Bishop. The reason you're going to have people coming through that area is you are going to have a lot of people trying to get into this jump down right here. And, you know, as you guys know, when you jump down here, there's graphics cards and such, there's Tetrises, all that gravy stuff that people really want early wipe. We're going to see how that's definitely affected next wipe, but, you know, as of right now, it's a moneymaker. So, with that being said, the easiest way to counter most of these people is if someone's down here, honestly, what I would do is they're not going to expect you to come from the front. So I would actually go all the way around up here, come all the way over this way, and then jump down and jump down again and try and take them out, unless they're sitting on the inside of this this door. If they are and it's closed, you can actually go all the way around here. And what I like to do is I like to come out here, and I'll usually be, you know, quiet or something like that, but they might think that you're walking away. Easiest thing you can do is just pop into here and take them out, honestly. Just boop, you know, easy. Easy headshots. It's literally shooting fish in a barrel. You don't even have to worry about it. It's really nice. And you can even shoot through this, which is good, so it helps. The next building we're going to be moving to is the White Bishop building. You do want to be aware that people will be sitting back here on this little patio or balcony or whatever you want to call it, sniper perch, and you will have people probably sit in this tower as well. I know from experience that a lot of people will sit in those towers and just snipe. This, you know, late in the wipe, we're kind of late in, but if you have like Mosin and stuff like that, you're gonna have a lot of people that are gonna be sniping in those areas. With white, Bishop, you're not going to have so much PvP in here as much as you would have the very good vantage point of being able to take out a lot of people. So like, say, you know, you got 3rd floor, you might as well just come up here and you can probably take them out relatively easy. You'll also have a pretty good vantage point into the top of Queen. And what you'll do is you'll actually have a lot of people that'll go for intelligence in here and such, and other tech spawns. And you'll be able to see fully down this hallway and as well as into this room. And you can lob a, you know, pretty nice nade into there as well. The night buildings, you'll have a pretty good lookout at. You'll miss the left side of white, but you will definitely have the advantage of being able to see the lower roof of white night. You'll also have some advantage on the K buildings, but the biggest advantage you'll really have, at least in my opinion, is right here. You'll be able to get on top of this, right over here, and you'll be able to see right into that window on Red Tower. Red Tower is a big area where a lot of people will sit inside and just snipe the entire game and wait for raiders. So, definitely a big thing. Another good thing about this building right here is, say you need to get down and someone's coming up the stairs, you can actually just jump off right here. You don't have to jump, you just drop, and then boom, and then you're out. And you go straight into this Queen building. As soon as you go into this Queen building, you need to watch directly in front of you and directly to right. This is Queen, Tech, King, whatever you want to call it. I usually just call it Tech building, but that's just me. This is the Tech area. You'll be able to get random tech loot, so on and so forth, but this isn't a loot guide. This is a PvP guide. You will definitely have a lot of people try and kind of sit back here, but what you will see is them sitting back here actually puts them at a disadvantage. So if I open this and I look through and I try and look anywhere through this thing, I'm gonna have a hell of a time. So you'll see that I can hit this a lot of the time, so it's gonna give me a massive disadvantage. What I usually do is, if I'm coming in this way and I come in through the back of Queen, like I do sometimes, I'll actually go ahead, walk through here and shoot that light out because it gives me a disadvantage. So we're actually gonna go ahead and head upstairs now. All right, so we're heading up to Queen, the middle of Queen / Tech. This is 2nd floor. So like I said earlier, you'll have a lot of people actually come in here. It doesn't really matter what door they come in, that one or this one. But you can see you have a pretty good vantage point, honestly, from that top roof to be able to shoot anybody that's coming directly to the spawn. You can see we got a Tetris here. You can also get graphics cards there as well, which is pretty cool. And same thing over here. So you'll have a really good line of sight right there. So after that, you'll have a lot of people that'll kind of hold this 3rd floor. And honestly, it's kind of hard, but you'll have, you know, that vantage point over there if you do run over there. But you'll have a lot of people actually hold this 3rd floor, and they'll hold it pretty tightly, just seeing as how it's, you know, 2 ways up to really defend. And if you are in this room, there's only one way that you really need to defend. So it's a really good spot to kind of hold up for PvP. But if you want to counter this, the only few ways that I really know how to counter this one is to either come off the roof right here and just continue to run up and go to the roof, or you can go across the way. But when you do come up to the roof, you're not actually going to be coming in. You're actually going to go around and shoot through the window. Believe it or not, you're going to shoot through this window. And that just gives you more of a, I don't think he's going to go out there. And not a lot of people think of that because, you know, most people are like, I got to get in the building. You don't necessarily have to get into the building. So over there or this roof are really going to be your best bet. If you can't really do that, I would just run away from the fight, honestly. You can try and peek and shoot, but it's really up to you and how confident you really feel with the shot. The next place you're going to get PvP in here is going to be this server room. You're going to have a lot of people that'll sit where I'm sitting. And in this case, I mean, just shooting at them is really the best thing you can do. They'll definitely have a lot of vantage and viewpoints on you. But a lot of these people get kind of lost in where you are after it goes kind of, you know, when you're moving around a lot, they kind of lose track of you, and you can actually pop some shots off at these guys and potentially even get a headshot. So it's not too bad. It's not too hard, but it's something that you're definitely going to have to work towards. So we're now actually going to the night buildings, and I'm hoping that you know, with you wanting to learn PvP on this map, that you've definitely run reserve a few times. But if not, we're definitely going to go over a graphic at the end of the video that'll go ahead and kind of go through everything we went through. So we're going in the back of Black Knight. You will potentially have raiders here as well as in the Black Pond building. Like I told you, you will have raiders, and that's a lot of the reason that you really get PvP, that marked room. So if you have raiders in here, obviously you're gonna have to take those out. They mostly just stay first and second floor. It's very rare that they come second floor though, but you will definitely potentially have a lot of people in here. And if there are raiders in Black Knight, you will for sure have people sitting inside the White Knight building trying to take them out. The biggest thing about this building is if I don't zoom in on any of these buildings, if I don't zoom in from white or from black, I won't really be able to see in the window, but as soon as I zoom in, I can see in pretty damn clearly. So the biggest thing with that is I usually use this hallway to actually take a lot of my shots on most of these guys that are sitting in White Knight. That's just me. Another good thing about this is if you get it just right, you can actually climb up here. Oh, guys, there's a whole way to do this. And you should be able to. My buddy did it once, but I can never do it. You should be able to get kind of a line of sight on the red building as well, but I can't seem to do it. Oh, never mind. I'm lying. Different spot that I'm thinking of. But that's pretty much the PvP for Black Knight, is you're just gonna have either people coming up the stairs, and when you're coming up, just nades. That's really the only thing you can do, or you can go to White Knight. With that, the only reason you're really gonna get a lot of PvP in here would be if raiders were here, and that's about it. Same thing with White Knight. The raiders will kind of be out here, so you will definitely get, you know, potential people that are gonna want to kill those raiders. But a lot of people in this building, they're just camping the very top floor. So whenever you go up here, honestly, I would throw a nade right here. And then while that nade's going off, I come back up and I just, you know, take out whatever I can. Most people are going to be sitting right here inside that, or they're going to have this door kind of propped like this, and they'll be sitting. You will have people on the roof as well. But most of the people on the roof, the only way you'll kind of know is if this door is closed and you hear them. So those are the only real ways you're actually going to know, which is kind of weird. You can't shoot that. Okay. All right, whatever. Those are really the only ways you're going to know. But I would also, if you are silenced and you are the first one in this building, I would shoot out the light. But that's just me, because I usually listen for a lot of this stuff anyway. Alright, we're going to go ahead and head over to that red tower that I was talking about. There's a few things about this red tower that you're going to see. Is there's actually a way that it leads under the hermetic bunker, and you can go that way, but there are scavs down there usually. So personally, I don't recommend going that way. But a lot of people will go ahead and sit up in this area right here. So with that, what you're going to see is a lot of people decide that this is probably the best vantage point for them. And they'll go ahead and just hold this most of the game, and as soon as hermetic pool is hit, they'll go ahead and take out most of the raiders, and they'll just camp up here, which is fine. You'll also have a lot of people sitting here, but the easiest way to kind of take these guys out is either a very well thrown nade, or what you can do is you can actually get across in this area and try and sneak a shot on them. Or you can get down in this area, which is technically the hermetic area, and take them out. And again, if they do come over here, you have that one little tiny peek through right over there. by the white bishop building, and then you can also get on top of K to get these guys out. But most of the time, at least when I do it, I probably die to raiders more than not when I'm playing solo. So it is what it is. Also, you can come through here and try and get the one up on them and make them think that you're not going to be coming up, but it depends on how well that person really knows the sound. The last place, well, I should say the last few places you're really going to get PvP are going to be kind of the heating pipe over there, as well as the marked room right here. PvP in this area is definitely a little weird. It usually happens directly right off the bat when a team spawns here and a second team spawns over this way or on the E2 bunkers. You'll have people that sit up in this tower and actually aim all the way down to the tall tower all the way over there and kind of, you know, look and see if a team has spawned over there. That's what I do right off the bat. But if not, and you come and you want to, you know, try and take out whoever's in here, there's a few ways you can kind of do that. You can go to this hill right here and get in one of these bushes, one of these lovely bushes, if I do say so myself. That's usually my tactic. Or you can kind of come up the back and really kind of do like a slow walk movement, or try and at least peek in to make sure that you're not going to get bamboozled. And say for some reason they're sitting in this room over here, there's not really a lot you can do, but you can actually shoot through that door, believe it or not. And then if they're stuck in here, you can shoot through this. You don't have to worry about doing anything. If you don't think that they're going to shoot you because maybe they think that they can't hit you, you know, go ahead, aim in. Why not? Might as well shoot them, right? So I will say the biggest annoyance about this room, though, is the only vantage point you have, really, is right through there. So if they're crouched down, it's going to be a little bit harder to see them. You can still see them, but it's going to be a little bit harder. If you don't see them over there, they're probably sitting right next to the door, and that kind of gives you an out to go ahead and go around the building. Or you can just patiently wait for it, honestly. We're going to go ahead and move over to the heating pipe now. So after we get over there, I'm going to go ahead and show you all of my favorite vantage points that I personally use and I see a lot of other people use. And we're going to kind of go through those individually, because there's not a lot of them, but when you're sniping, there's definitely a few that I'd like to just tell you guys about. So when you're coming up on heating pipe, the biggest thing you're going to have to worry about is that tower right there that just disappeared for some reason, and that tower right there. So the biggest thing about this tower is you can actually get pretty easily sniped from that tower, but you can also look in really easily. The tower over there, however, you don't really have a vantage point on this side of it, and that's, you know, kind of sucks. But if you're patient, you can definitely get a lot of people from here. Just lay down. Your arm stam will not go down that fast, and you'll definitely be able to recover it a lot faster. So you can see, bottom left, my arm stam's going up pretty fast, pretty quickly. I don't have to worry about it. Granted, the site that I'm using definitely doesn't use a lot of arm stamina. So, but if not, you can actually jump over this and potentially, this is up to you if you want to take this risk, because this is a big old risk right here. You can get right into here, and you should be able to go ahead and crawl under this and actually get a potential headshot from this area right here. And this is one of my favorite spots that I use to try and combat a lot of these people, because no one really looks under these. Most people are looking at that hill that you're sitting on, or maybe the other tower that you're sitting in, so on and so forth. So let's go ahead and move into the potential spots that you're going to be held up in on a lot of these. All right, so as all you guys know, sniper towers are definitely going to be a go-to automatically. But some of the places that I will actually hit are going to be a little bit more unutilized, if that makes any sense. So I'll actually come in here and I'll sit and actually get a very good vantage point on the white pawn building because you have a lot of traffic that goes in and out of this one room. So you can get a pretty good shot from here, even with the monstrum that I'm using. But usually I'll use like a 1.6 Valde or a 1.4. Another place that I'll sit to kind of try and get anybody that's sitting in this building is I will go ahead and come back here, and this is kind of open, I will say that, but I'll come back here and I'll kind of sit on top of this, and you'll see that I have a, you know, a little bit to my right, it's not covered, but I'll be able to go ahead and, you know, have a pretty good vantage point on most of the stuff. This back end right here, this patio area, definitely be able to have a little bit of a back end and good viewpoint of that. The next place I'll kind of sit is right in those bushes right there. I'll actually peek out, and I'll just show you guys really quick. I'm gonna go ahead and head over here. Go ahead and I'll go right here. And I'll kind of look out into these buildings. And obviously, if I'm doing, you know, something along the lines of sniping or, you know, long range shooting, I'm not using this. Like I said, I usually use the 1.6 Valde or like attack 30 or a 1.4, something along those lines. The spots that I showed you on top of White Bishop are definitely spots that I use. I will also use the roof of Black Pawn and sit right on top of that place that I jumped on earlier. And I will use White Pawn and lay on top of the tent. And I'll go ahead and cut to that now. We're now on top of White Pawn, and like I said, I'll usually get on top of the tent here if I have somebody actually looking at the dome building. So I'll actually get up here and I'll, you know, be able to see all of the great stuff that people are trying to take out of the tech room here, as well as a very good vantage point on top of the Black Bishop, as well as the 4th floor of Black Pawn. Another good kind of place you can get if you were to, you know, get up here is you can definitely get the Roof of Queen. And then there is a good spawn for hideout equipment right here. So you can definitely get that as well. The next place I usually sit is over in these areas. So we're going to go ahead and hit a few of those areas now. All right, so we're going up the left side of the hill now. So one place I'll kind of sit is I'll actually get up on top of these rocks. And I will sit right here and kind of let this block me. The only downside about this one is that you have a pretty clear view of being shot from up here, which can definitely be a little intimidating. And then the next place that I'll sit, which is where a lot of people sit, and I don't blame them, is actually up here. This is a very good spot for people to be sitting on top of. So you'll have a pretty good vantage point of just about the entire map. I would honestly use like a TAC 30 or Voodoo scope when sitting up in this area, just to be able to do a lot of stuff and snipe a lot of people, so on and so forth. But you have a wide variety of angles. I personally do not go up in dome. I'll sit at this bottom area, but that's about it. The next area I will sit is up on top of this rock. So you can actually go like this and jump up here. You got to be very careful not to break your legs, but you can sit right here, which is pretty damn exposed, or as long as you don't break your legs right here. Jesus, very fun. I guess running probably isn't the best for this, but if you go up here, you can actually lay down and see a lot of the map as well, which is very good. Again, I would recommend a 1.6, attack 30, or a Voodoo. The next possible spot I would be sitting, there's only 3 more. It's gonna be kinda in this area. And although it's not, you know, a widest range as my next spot, it'll definitely get you to the White Knight building and it'll give you a very good vantage point. Or I'll sit right here, kind of in this bush, and get me a little bit better line of sight of maybe the Queen building or the E2 bunkers as well. One of the last spots that I'm gonna be sitting is gonna be over this way. And it's actually a little bit up the hill, believe it or not, and I personally find this spot to be very enjoyable. I think I've only ever been killed here one time the entire time that I use it. This bush is pretty much the entire length of your body, which is really nice. But right here, you can just get so much. You can get the top of Queen or Tech building. You can get, you know, the top of White Pawn. You can get the top of Black Pawn over here. There's just so many angles that you could potentially get. And again, for this one, 1/6 Voodoo or Attack 30 is what I would really recommend for any of these spots. So we're actually going to use just a Photoshop document for kind of recap. So this is the Hermetic Bunker. This is the long line of sight you're going to have. This is very PvP intensive. In this area is very PvP intensive. And I will draw, you know, over to here. Since this line of sight right on this tower has a very, very big chance of getting you screwed. You will also have a lot of PvP in this area if you have scavs, as well as in the third floor of this building. And this building is pretty much just line of sights for these three buildings, as well as the Queen building. You will have PvP back in this area. Again, as I said, I spawned right here, so you will kind of have PvP back here that you'll need to worry about, but not too much in a sense, as you'll pretty much just be sniping people from this area. So these right here, this is all my sniping spots, as well as a lot of people are going to be sniping from there, as well as Dome. And this is just kind of a quick recap of where a lot of people are going to be countering PvP. And then this right here, which is the red tower, you're going to have PvP there as well with people sitting inside of it. So I do want to thank you guys for watching. If you made it through this hugely long video, I didn't expect it to be this long, but it's definitely a lot of information when it comes to PvP on Reserve. I definitely want to thank you guys. Please like, share, subscribe. If you guys feel the need to ask me any questions, or you guys just want to walk through of PvP on this map, I will definitely be more than happy to help you guys out. Just leave a comment below, and I'll see you guys on the next one.